and Reese. Coleman Hawkins ready to tip it, and off we go. Big Ten play is underway in College Park. The only blemish for this Illinois team, a loss to Virginia. Outside of that, they've been perfect, including a 29-point blowout on Tuesday against Syracuse. This guy with the basketball had a triple-double in that game against Syracuse on Tuesday. Here's the freshman Clark, missing, and a rebound comes down to Reese.
It's going to be so important for both teams, and they're switching. They've got to communicate. Maryland gets a little bit fortunate there. Two defenders go with the cutter, and Illinois gets a terrific look from that wing.
Now Maryland 7-0. Not only have they won every game, they've won every game by at least 16 points. They blew away Louisville by 25 on the road this past week. And the three drops down for the transfer, Jahmir Young.
How good has Jahmir Young been over the last two games? 18 points a game, 5 rebounds, has 10 assists, and just 1 turnover. Dante Scott handling that post trap fantastically, skipping it out. Jahmir Young paying it off.
Averaging 14 points a game, started his career at Charlotte, but he is from the D.C. area and wanted to come home to finish his college ball.
Maryland going with their press into the 2-3 zone. They're going to mix and match defenses.
Hawkins from way behind the arc, and he knocks it down, and we're tied at 3.
He is playing with so much confidence right now. Triple-double against Syracuse, 15, 10, and 10. Right there, making something happen right from the top of the key.
Dante Scott, well, that's a tough shot. Fading away, it counts. Or no. They're going to say it went over the backboard, so it's out of bounds. And now Illinois back on the offensive end here, less than 2 minutes in. And a hostile environment on the road. Here's the Baylor transfer, Matt Meyer giving it up. Skip, baseline drive, Melendez at the rim, and R.J. Melendez gives Illinois the lead.
I really like that drive by R.J. Melendez.
How about this drive?
Right back at you in transition. That's not going to please Brad Underwood, but off the score, it doesn't matter. You have got to get back. No one's stopping the ball. And Jahmir Young, what a start for him.
Yeah, he's got all 5 for the Terps so far. Inside Hawkins, and he's got 5 early.
Now, last 2 possessions, Illinois operating at a high level against this Maryland 2-3 zone. They saw plenty of it on Tuesday against Syracuse, and Maryland, I'm going back to that man.
How about Scott? Puts Hawkins in the spin cycle.
He just looks like a totally different player. You lose 25 pounds, a different body, and he has been fabulous all season long.
And on the other end, count the basket. These two teams are a combined 7 of 8 to start here tonight. And this freshman will help take him there. Sky Clark, top 50 kid. He's off to a great start tonight.
He's just done a nice job of mixing and matching with creating for other people and creating for himself. Right now, it's whatever you want. It's just people getting to the rim left and right.
So is it really good offense, or is it just poor defense right now?
It's a combination of both, I would say. We've got some really talented offensive players on the floor, but defensively, we've seen better defense this year from both these teams.
Sky Clark missed the first shot of the game, and since then we've had 9 straight makes between the two teams. You know, you and I were wondering, how would Coleman Hawkins bounce back, or not need to bounce back? Would he continue what he did against Syracuse? He already has 7 points.
He's off to a great start as well. And the thing with Coleman Hawkins, it has got to be consistency. And the triple-double comes against Syracuse, but the game prior, play Lindenwood. He doesn't score, has 6 turnovers, 0 of 2. It's just, it can't be such a roller coaster for him, but you can see when he puts it all together, that dude is so talented.
Couple early substitutions. Brad Underwood's going to bring in another one of his talented true freshmen, number 1, Sincere Harris, the native of Canton, Ohio.
I know he'll guard. So that's at least one player on the floor that's going to guard him.
And maybe that's why Brad Underwood put him in here.
Absolutely. He changed that UCLA game. He just, in the second half, the way he got after Tiger Campbell, just wore him down.
Help Helped Baylor win 2 Big 12 titles. Of course, helped them win the national championship a couple of seasons ago. Young in the paint, and Jahmir Young is hot early. He's got 7.
I liked what Kevin Willard said to us at shoot-around about how Jahmir Young is just taking what the defense gives him. He's not stressing about getting people shots. And if the defense tells him to pass, he's passing. If it tells him to score, he's doing that. He is off to a fabulous start through 4 minutes.
On the other end, little teardrop off the mark for Ty Rodgers, but out to Hawkins.
This one, right? I'm calling Hawkins. I think he should shoot that.
He tried to follow up the miss, couldn't get it to go.
He walks a fine line as well. He's a guy who is always looking to pass. Cut by Hakeem Hart.
But Hawkins disrupted it at the rim. He's going to bring it the other direction. Here's Terrence Shannon. He can fill it up. Off the mark there. Strong rebound, Hakeem Hart. So Shannon, the leading scorer between the two teams, is 0 for 2 so far. Backdoor, slipping into the lane. That one off the mark for Jahmir Young. But the tempo, the excitement, you can feel it in the building right now. There's Shannon's first bucket of the night.
Not that he can't go right, but if you let Terrence Shannon get to his left hand going downhill, it's pretty much game over. And you see it right there, just how explosive he is at getting to his strong hand.
Cross-court skip, triple, little short. Offensive rebound on the reload, Young. And another offensive board.
You see this at times with Illinois. You saw it last season. You saw it in the Virginia game. There are just times where they struggle to corral defensive rebounds.
And it's hurting them here early, at least on this possession. That one goes out of bounds.
This is going to be a different beast tonight. You're probably going to see Maryland face some adversity for the first time all season.
And Maryland's grad transfer Patrick Emilian off the bench and picking up his first foul of the evening.
I have to think that in that TV timeout, both Kevin Willard and Brad Underwood spent a lot of it talking about defense.
Yes.
Because it was just an onslaught of layups for the first 5 minutes of this game.
Well, we had 10 straight made shots. We will say since then the teams are combined 1 for 10. They get 1 for 11 as that bounces around in the hands of Long, and then we got a foul in transition.
When they beat Villanova in exhibition, they were up 19. So he told us this afternoon, those were the 2 indicators to him that this is a pretty good team, and he's got one that certainly could reach some high potential this season.
And one player that's really good is Hakeem Hart. Nifty footwork, and he puts it up and in.
You're telling me. I mean, that was an impressive move from Hakeem Hart, who has played with so much confidence on the offensive end this year. Last year in the top 15 in the country in offensive rating, but his usage was so low. Now they're giving him an opportunity, and he is taking advantage.
Melendez slips, trying to get it out of harm's way, and somehow he does. That's what I was just going to say. Now the shot clock is dwindling. Boy, and they had a wet spot on the floor there, and that is why the second slip happened for Jaden Epps. All of that, and Maryland will get the basketball. As Brad Underwood makes a trio of substitutions here with his team up by 1, 7 minutes in.
When Maryland was worried about this, that's a dangerous pass from Don Carey. But with Illinois, their press, their run and jump, they're going to make you handle that rock.
There's Hakeem Hart again, the senior knocking it down.
Over the last 5 games, Hakeem Hart shooting 44% from 3. Got a great look. You attack that pressure, get an open shot. Hakeem Hart knocks it down.
He and Dante Scott are the 2 senior leaders for Kevin Willard, and they've played like it so far this season. Clark on the dribble drive, kicked it off his foot, and we head the other way. Back-to-back turnovers for Illinois.
That was so good by Patrick Emilian, just moving his feet. He took that switch, he stayed right with Sky Clark. Clark coming off a game where he did not shoot it well, 0 for 10 against Syracuse. You see Emilian getting in there, coming in this game, and having an impact on the defensive end of the floor.
So you talk about this pressure of Illinois maybe disrupting Maryland. You think that'll be something to watch all night?
Absolutely, and even if it's just man-to-man pressure, you've got to always be aware if you're Maryland. Keep an eye on that. Illinois loves to run and jump. You can't leave your point guard out to dry.
Is Illinois playing significantly different than they did last year, Rob?
Absolutely, and it's because of the departure of Kofi Coburn. We're seeing them play pick and roll differently, play with different tempo.
So the defense, both sides, seems to have settled in here a little bit.
Yeah, water has found its level. Illinois 1 for their last 6, Maryland 2 for their last 8. And not the same quality of looks that we saw early in the game, where it was just uncontested shots at the rim.
Illinois scored 12 points in the first 3.5 minutes, but only 2 since then.
See Maryland switching so much. This is where you got to switch on contact, talk it out. This is going to be tough for Coleman Hawkins. Yeah, with that Jahmir Young guarding him out there, tough deal.
The big fella, Dane Danger, nice move, but good defense by Reese.
Julian Reese really impacted that shot. Danger can handle it. He's got terrific footwork, but Reese staying in that play and getting a good contest.
Danger's a big kid, about 270 pounds, but he was up around 300. And here he is on the defensive end, knocking it loose. And Clark goes down to grab it, and we've got a tie-up. The arrow will keep it on this end. Akeem Hart hits another one. What a start for the senior from Philly.
He's gotten great looks, and this time it comes off dribble penetration. Akeem Hart is shooting that thing at a high level this year.
Melendez trying to stop an 8-0 run, but he cannot. Now Maryland looks to add to that 8-0 run. Young wide open. Got it! Timeout, Illinois.
A bit of a roller coaster when it comes to making shots from the perimeter. And Kevin Willard talked about after some of those games at Mohegan Sun, as well as they played, had they shot it well and made some open shots, they could have won those games by 25 points.
So now how will Illinois stop the bleeding? An 11-0 run for the Terrapins. Shannon down the lane.
He's got to keep going to the basket. You force the officials to make a call, and Terrence Shannon really get to the basket.
His first free throw stopped an 11-0 run, and he hits them both. Meyer was out there with 2 fouls, but now he goes back to the bench. Those free throws stopped an Illinois scoring drought that lasted almost 4.5 minutes. Don Carey, transfer from Georgetown. Here's Reese. He's got the size advantage. Around the arc and knocked out of bounds by the quick hands of Sincere Harris with 8 to shoot.
That was big time by Sincere Harris.
Harris, they called him a relentless defender, the true freshman from Ohio.
He plays with great energy, and he hawks the basketball.
Shot clock dwindling. In the lane, left hand, Martinez, nice finish.
That's Maryland again taking advantage of the mismatch, this time on the perimeter. You got Coleman Hawkins guarding Ian Martinez, who's a fantastic athlete, and he blows right by the big fella, gets all the way to the rim.
Both teams have had 16 shots. Maryland's made 10, Illinois 6. Clark cut off, now gets it back, thought about it. Drives it, tries to drop it off, but it's taken away. Young had a 2-on-1, now kicks it out. And a 3 by Carey, in and out. Look at coming in there, Dante Scott.
Right now, just all the hustle plays are going to the Maryland Terrapins.
And Brad Underwood finished shoot around by saying, we will get every 50-50 ball. We will be the team that hustles, but it's been Maryland so far. Harkins rejects it out of bounds, 5 on the shot clock. The shot clock is at 5. Young right underneath the basket, kicked out. He's going to have to put it up. All 3 free throws. They're going to get Coleman Hawkins for a costly foul. And Martinez connects.
Think about how much earlier now with the conference games in December that happens. We'll go back and around Christmas play some non-conference games that bench will lengthen back out, but it's a different deal than it was 10 years ago.
All 4 bench points tonight have been by Maryland. They're by Martinez. Here's Dane Danger. Left hand, no. Hawkins cannot tap it back.
Danger's just fading away from the basket. And the influence of Julian Reese looming large.
And there's a clear hold on Jaden Epps.
And Trace Jackson-Davis reminded me the other night after that win over Carolina, he has never beaten Rutgers. Kind of crazy when you think about it. He has never won against Rutgers.
Yeah, they have had Indiana's number. Fumbled out of bounds here. Boy, Maryland is just clicking on all cylinders right now. It's a 17-2 run, and they're up a dozen.
There are just some defensive mistakes occurring for the Fighting Illini that pretty surprising to see out here. They look out of sorts. I look at Illinois as one of the best teams in this conference, right up there with Indiana and Purdue. And the way that they've competed, defended, Illinois won of their last 9 from the field. But again, this place was empty last year. And you have to give a lot of credit to this Maryland staff and Kevin Willard because this is a totally different vibe.
Into the shot clock, Hawkins. That's their first field goal in over 7 minutes. They needed it.
Absolutely, and that's once again at the top of the key. Coleman Hawkins just making something happen on a possession that was going nowhere. Hawkins letting the student section behind us know about that make.
10 points already for Hawkins, trying to keep Illinois in this ball game.
They're lucky right there. Don Carey, who's a career 38% three-point shooter, came off that screen at the top of the key, and there was no one around him. Illinois has not been crisp with their switching tonight. They have really not been sharp on off-the-ball screens.
Dangerous pass, but it gets to Clark.
That was a missile.
Hawkins is 4 of 5, making 4 of 6. Falls right to Dane Danger, and he lays it in.
Ian Martinez was trying to block out Dane Danger. Danger just discarded him. Made a play on that basketball and gets the offensive rebound.
Now whistling a timeout by Kevin Willard here after a little 5-0 spurt.
And what he did, guys, you know this, is he told Hart, Scott, and Reese, I am not going to bring in transfers over you. I'm going to bring in transfers to complement you. He made that promise to them.
But right now, Illinois for the first time punching back, a 7-0 run for the Illini.
We talked about earlier the 50-50 plays going Maryland's way. That time, Emilian gets his hands on the basketball, can't corral it, and Terrence Shannon showtime in transition.
And Shannon, what a presence he's been at, almost 20 points a game. Texas Tech the last 3 years, and that's a travel. Julian Reese walked with it. Here he is in the high post. Backing down Reese. Nice little fake getting to that left shoulder.
But you notice on that move, there was no fading away. He had Reese off balance, and that time went straight up. A much more confident look with his right hand.
A 9-0 run, and all of a sudden a one-possession game. Jahmir Young.
Good dribbling on this possession. That ball's got to keep moving for Maryland. They scored so easy early in the game.
Carey.
Over dribbling.
Yeah, Carey lost it. Clark having a little trouble, but he does get it into Danger. Danger trying to go to work, almost kicked it out of bounds. Hawkins has 10. He wants 3 more, but it's short. Long rebound of Scott. Kick out. Senior to senior. Got it. Akeem Hart is in double figures, and look at the trap. And a travel. Fast break points, 8-2 Maryland right now. And Their lead is 6. Here is Dante Scott, leading scorer. Another great pass. And again, it's senior to senior. The captains connect.
He's just making plays off the bounce, getting to the middle of the floor, drawing the help defense, and Hakeem Hart is feeling it from downtown.
Here's a trap. Clark gets it out of there. And all of a sudden, you feel like Illinois, their backs are against it again here. And now a whistle to stop the crazy crowd and all the momentum. Sky Clark, the most heralded of the 4 freshman recruits, gives it up. Here's Hawkins. Hawkins using that pivot foot up and under. No, but the tap back, yes, on the weak side.
Coleman Hawkins has been tasked so often tonight, end of shot clock, to go and make a play. And there looked like there was nowhere to go. Pivots out of it. I think Terrence Shannon got that tip in.
He did. He's got 8 now, Rob. In the lane, wild shot, good block, but then Melendez swatted it out of bounds, so it'll stay with Maryland.
With the new staff here at Maryland, they have been players, and there you see Coleman Hawkins really knowing the scouting report. Julian Reese wants to get back to his left hand. Hawkins shut that down.
Shannon shot hunting, but a little too deep there. Boy, they had Dante Scott.
Yeah, Jahmir Young just never saw him.
That was out in front of the pack. Now the defense sets, and Meyer gets a steal. Meyer thought it was, got it back and laid it in.
It looked like he was just totally grabbed. Give a lot of credit to Matt Meyer for sticking with that and still scoring it.
And remember, he's out there with 2 fouls as well. He picked up 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes of the game, the Baylor transfer. And here, Hawkins affecting the defensive end again. Outlet up to Hawkins, little Euro step. Reverse up and down, and Illinois right back within a possession.
Back-to-back possessions where the Illinois defense has created offense. 2 turnovers and immediately 2 buckets.
13 Illinois field goals made, 11 of them have been in the paint. It's totally different than their game against Syracuse. Dante Scott, mid-range jumper.
He is just a pure 3-level scorer. And he can shoot it from 3. He can get to the mid-range like he does there, just face and pull. And also get to the basket and post you. Dante Scott having a fabulous year. He's over back.
He is.
Easily.
We're right here. You saw it. So that's a turnover for Illinois. Their 6th of the first half. Here's that play with Meyer.
Meyer in transition, and you know what? He's actually lucky it wasn't an offensive foul. He just, it was hard for us to tell. You know, we're across the floor, and he just chucks. I believe that was Ian Martinez.
Very easily could have been his 3rd personal foul. He takes a seat right now at the 2-minute mark. It's been a pretty entertaining first half.
It's been back and forth. There's been some serious runs made on both sides.
17-2 run, and there was a 9-0 run in response, and then another 6-0 run by Maryland.
Jahmir Young and Dante Scott. You get the lane, you get your strong left floater. Good things are going to happen for Jahmir Young.
He's got a dozen. Coming up, stick around. State Farm halftime report here at 90 seconds. Hawkins looks up at the shot clock. He's got a great defender and hard on him. He's got to put it up. Fading away, almost banked it in. And Clark grabs a long board. Inside of a minute. Shannon, good shot fake. Great kick, open 3. Melendez knocks it down.
That's such a mature play by Terrence Shannon. You got the closeout coming at you. You get into the painted area. The defense helps, and you draw 2, kick it to your shooter.
Speaking of shooters, Dante Scott, but that one well short. Somehow Reese saved that. And it all results in a 3-pointer for Jahmir Young. Young has 15. Shot clock turned off. Shannon. Another drive and kick. Same spot, different result, and a foul on the rebound. And it's going to be against Maryland's Hakeem Hart, his second. Clark will initiate. Bad pass taken away by Reese. Up ahead, Young at the horn. Oh, in and out. The roof might have come off the Xfinity Center. But still, Young and Hart combined for 29, and Maryland's up 7. Boy, it has been jumping here in the Xfinity Center all night. How will Illinois respond? Their only loss this year against Virginia. Maryland coming in 7-0, one of the remaining 3 unbeatens in the conference. Wild shot by Shannon. Hawkins thought he got fouled on the putback, but no whistle. Now, Hakeem Hart is down on the other end. They're going to stop play here. Looked like he took a hit in the top of the head.
Coleman Hawkins should be shooting 2 free throws.
And we've only had 6 free throws in the game between the two teams. We are going to shoot free throws here. Julian Reese will go to the line.
I like the way that Kevin Willard sold Julian Reese on staying here. Faculty coach Nangel Delgado, Sandro Mamukelashvili developed bigs. Convinced Julian Reese to give him a chance to develop him.
Bad pass, Shannon throws it away. Jahmir Young right down Broadway.
Read that like a defensive back. He shot right through that passing lane. Coleman Hawkins, no interest in contesting at the rim.
All of a sudden, that lead is back to double digits. Hawkins trying to change it. He cannot. Shannon flying through and laying it in.
You know what, though? That play is made by Matt Meyer because he's fighting on the offensive glass right there. Terrence Shannon streaks right in there. Meyer's occupied a body. Terrence Shannon ends up with the bucket.
10 points now for Shannon. And here's a whistle. This has been the problem for Meyer tonight. That's already his 3rd foul, and he's only played 9 minutes, Rob. Brad Underwood, at least for the time being, is going to keep him out there. So Young drives it right at him and then kicks it to Carey. And Carey's fouled. So he'll have 3 at the line.
Is just so important for a program that you're right in the middle of one of the most talent-rich areas in all of the country. You go find 2 guys that are hungry to play high major college basketball. And think about Jahmir Young coming up from Charlotte, a team that really played slow. Now Maryland playing with some pace, and every game you see him, he just gets better and better.
Yeah, the pace hasn't bothered the young fella, that's for sure. What a move by Meyer. Tap back no good, cleared by Hart. You see glimpses of Meyer, why he was so good at Baylor 2 years ago.
I just thought he rushed the shot. I mean, it was a great move.
And he was a big part of that national championship team, 9 points a game.
He's had a hard time finding his offense. He's contributed in other ways, but it's been a tough adjustment for him coming over to Illinois. Certainly a difference in style between Brad Underwood and Scott Drew, but also not getting to campus until late in the summer didn't help him either.
Right down the middle of the lane, Melendez flushes it.
How about Coleman Hawkins? Really a point center, bringing the ball up, and R.J. Melendez with the run right down the middle of the lane. No one from Maryland picking him up, and R.J. Melendez just hammering that thing.
Hawkins 12 points, 6 rebounds. He's got 3 blocks. That was his first assist of the night. Coming off that triple-double in the win against Syracuse Tuesday. There was no resistance from Syracuse in that game. It was a blowout, but tonight a different story. Dante Scott trying to take advantage. He has the size advantage, and he hooks it up and in.
But he never panicked. I mean, he lost the basketball, stayed composed, kept his pivot foot, and got to his bread and butter, which is the right jump hook.
Hawkins fading away. A short tap back foul. That'll put Shannon at the line for 2 free throws.
Dante Scott has got to stick around, and that's just too casual. And now Illinois in transition.
Melendez open three, and all of a sudden Illinois is back within 6.
Maryland worked on that so much this afternoon at shoot-around, helping the point guard with the run and jump, and right there just not handled well. Illinois taking advantage.
Melendez now with 10, and Illinois 5 points in 14 seconds there in that last little spurt. Dante Scott, front of the iron, off to Melendez. Melendez has given him some good minutes tonight.
Played pretty well the last 2 games. 32 points in that stretch, 10 of 18 from the field. He's a good player. Seems like at times this year he's gotten a little bit lost in the shuffle, but he is more than capable.
Jahmir Young pulls down the rebound, leads the break, kicks it out. Pass a little too low. Hart wanted to get the 3 off.
That was on target. It was going to go up, but probably a wise decision by Hakeem Hart to reset. That pass was thrown at his ankles.
Hart 14 points all in the first half, and now Melendez picking up a foul for Illinois, but he has given him 10 points so far tonight. Off the inbound shot fake by Martinez. Now Reese needs a little help. Martinez, wild shot, but it went down over Hawkins.
I don't think Coleman Hawkins could guard that any better. Ian Martinez a little bit out of control, but he goes through the body and somehow finds a way to score it.
Martinez now with 8. The lead is 8. Martinez second year with Maryland after a season with the Utah Utes. Here's Hawkins, who he may have gotten away with that left arm. Baseline drive, Hawk blocked by Reese.
Julian Reese just staying in there and pinning that thing on the boards. They got the mismatch. Nice job there. Sky Clark passing Julian Reese over to Matt Meyer.
Reese lost it. The other direction, RJ Melendez. He's had the hot hand as of late, little Euro step. An offensive foul on Illinois.
It's a tough call for the officials. It's so bang bang, but he was still moving.
Second half fouls, 5 on Illinois. Maryland just 1. Here's number 1, Jahmir Young. Leading in, nifty footwork, but Martinez gets fouled, and now that is 4 on Matthew Meyer. He's a shooter from Homestead, Indiana. And it's a team, though, that has shot it well, Illinois. 36% from 3 coming into tonight. 4 of 12 so far this evening from deep. Shannon taking it to the rack with authority through 2 Terps.
He can go upstairs on you. The speed and the way that Terrence Shannon gets to that rim. He is such an explosive athlete.
It's the right hand, too. What a play by the senior from Chicago.
Boy, that's got to be an offensive foul.
It is an offensive foul. Now the question is, Shannon okay? He took the brunt of that contact.
No doubt. They might look at this just because it's to the face.
Terrence Shannon just told Brad Underwood, call a timeout. He wants to get back in there as soon as possible.
They don't take the timeout, although they did get an extended break, and then they turn it over. Bad pass goes through the hands of Rogers. Maryland up 8 here. Maryland has led for most of this game. 7 minutes gone by in the second half. An entertaining conference opener here to Big Ten play. And they're going to get Sky Clark trying to battle down low with a bigger Dante Scott. Scott hits both at the line. Sky Clark kicks it up. Hawkins hasn't scored this half. Still scoreless this half.
How good was that from Ian Martinez, rotating to Coleman Hawkins, and as soon as you say it, now he throws it away. R.J. Melendez, what a play.
Whoa, and then what a recovery, but a foul underneath will put Melendez at the line. And Melendez completes the three-point play. You know, Terrence Shannon was about to come back in the game, but then Brad Underwood walked him to the end of the bench again. I don't know if he felt the bandage need to be readjusted. 55-48 Illinois.
Coleman Hawkins was really close. Sorry to interrupt you there. He almost had a steal there.
Like this is a zone here where Illinois can try to make a push, but again, Shannon on the bench, huge. Scott, little jab step, three off the mark. Rebound to Melendez.
Close out there by Danger.
That is going to be an offensive foul on the big man for Illinois. Defending the basketball here in Akeem Hart. Driving inside Young. Young had the big first tap, but here he has a shot blocked.
Really good help by Danger coming over. Stopping the basketball, sending that back.
21st all-time meeting between these two programs. Illinois has struggled here at College Park. They've lost their last four here. In fact, this is the only venue in the Big Ten that Brad Underwood has not won yet. He's 0-2 here. His big fella Danger goes to work inside with a right-hand tough finish.
Even with Dante Scott coming over to trap the post, Danger just goes over the top of the double. He is so nimble down there, can maneuver around defenders. A big-time play by Dane Danger.
He also transferred from Baylor, but he transferred January of last year, mid-semester. Got to spend 3 months banging inside with Kofi Coburn. Here's a deflection. Shannon the other direction. Oh, he tried to hammer it and he fell. They're going to say it went out of bounds. There's no foul. They initially said it would stay with Illinois, but hang on. Well, a good job by Doug Sermons coming in and overruling Kelly Pfeiffer, giving Maryland the ball back.
The way Shannon cocked that ball back, that would have been a ridiculous dunk.
He had a ridiculous dunk earlier with his right hand on the other side of the rim. To shoot. Maryland hasn't had a field goal in almost 5 minutes. Young won't change that here. Shannon rejects it. Shot clock violation. It has been sensational all night. Epps, strong drive, and all of a sudden, Rob, we got a one-possession game.
The hesitation. So Jaden Epps totally frees the defense. Nobody stops the ball. He can really score it around the rim. He can make shots from the perimeter, but they're getting downhill.
First bucket for Epps. Remember, he's out there with 4 fouls right now. And a block by Hawkins. Scott got it back. Can't get it. Bounces around into the hands of Melendez.
Illinois has just turned up the intensity on the defensive end of the floor. Looking like a different team all of a sudden.
Hawkins has 4 blocks tonight, but he almost turned it over there. Bounces out to Shannon. Look at the battle for the rebound.
No block out, and you've got 3 and 4 along an eye, crashing the offensive glass every possession.
Whistle away from the ball. Foul inside on Maryland and Julian Reese.
Julian Reese just wrapped his arm around Dane Danger.
The students behind us are not being very kind to Coleman Hawkins right now. The whistle and another foul. That's on Reese again. Each of the last 5 games, Reese has picked up at least 3 fouls. Little bully ball. Shannon got it to go, and it's down to 1 point.
That was the way route from Terrence Shannon. He just willed that thing in.
9-0 run for Illinois. Shannon has 16, and Maryland needs a timeout.
Jahmir Young and Akeem Hart were fabulous in the first half, and they have been so quiet here in the second.
Here's Scott, leading scorer on the season at 16 a game. He's trying to go to work. In the paint, right hand, got it to go.
He always finds his way back to that right hook. He's driving you left, but he's trying to spin back right. Just a big-time move to answer Illinois' run.
He's got a dozen, one of just 17 Terps all time, over 1,000 points and 500 rebounds. Saw Shannon slip there, but no travel. trying to feed the post. Here's Dane Danger. What a spin, and he lays it in.
Welcome to the danger zone down there, spinning off, and they are going to have problems with no Julian Reese on the floor. It's Dante Scott, and the footwork on full display there.
You just went full Kenny Loggins, didn't you? Young left wing, in and out. Illinois a chance to grab the lead for the first time in over 25 minutes on the game clock. Danger again, and a foul. He had Patrick Emilion buried, and that's 4 fouls on Emilion. Shannon out of the timeout. He may have traveled. Instead, they're going to whistle a foul. Jahmir Young, and he gives Maryland the lead right back after Illinois had tied it at 57.
Little zone action. Coleman Hawkins going to operate in that high post, much like he did against Syracuse.
Is that Kevin Willard trying to stop the attack on the inside?
Totally.
Clark in the corner.
Now you got a rebound, though. That's the problem. You don't have a man.
Melendez keeps it alive. Shannon way off the mark. And out of bounds to Maryland. Maryland trying to keep the perfect start to the season alive. 7-0. In the first year under Kevin Willard. Illinois comes in 6-1, top 25 battle. Young kicks it out. Open three for Harden. He knocks it down. First bucket of the second half for Akeem Hart. He's got 17 now.
There's 7 on the clock, and Illinois has not done anything.
Clark tries to change that, finds Hawkins, and he gets the bounce.
Well, when you got a guard like Sky Clark, just make a play and find a cutting Coleman Hawkins. That was a big-time drive to quiet this crowd. A possession where there really wasn't anything happening till 8 on that clock.
Sky Clark, the freshman from Los Angeles, so much poise out there. Young off the mark, high for the rebound, Dane Danger. A tangle in the backcourt between Young and Melendez. Really like how Clark plays though, Robbie. He is so confident for a freshman.
Think about it, coming off a torn ACL last season, and just he's got real poise to him. Great body for a freshman. Now we're going to get an offensive foul.
Yeah, they got Danger wrapped up there with Dante Scott. Only the second foul on Danger, but for Illinois, 10 fouls in the second half. Carey for three. In and out.
What a rebound by Dante Scott. He came flying in.
He kept it alive. And now here's Carey again. And Akeem Hart's going to reset. 17 points for the senior Hart. Goes to work. Leans in. No. And no whistle. Illinois had tied it at 57. They have not led in this game since it was 14-13. And Clark reties us at 62.
That's a freshman stepping up and making a monster shot. Defender just backing off a little bit. Sky Clark's got space. A big-time play.
A top 50 recruit, the most heralded of the 4 freshmen for Brad Underwood. A huge shot right there. Now Young kicks it up to Scott. Shot clock at 5. Carey, another 3. A little long.
He's had 2 pretty good looks and just not been able to knock him down. One in and out, and that one long.
You mentioned that Carey, a great shooter at Georgetown, but he's 0 of 4 tonight and just 25% on the season.
2 of his last 16 from 3.
Yeah. And they look good too. They're just not dropping. Hawkins. Now Dane Danger. Here comes a double. Can Illinois get their first lead in a long time? No. Second air ball 3 tonight for Terrence Shannon. Both sides, starters have done a lot of work. Only 18 bench points combined between the two teams. Illinois, 4 of their starters already over 30 minutes played in this game. We talked about it. These games, those benches, they shrink a little bit. There's a foul. I mentioned he's playing with 4 fouls. He does get the second one. Maryland back in front by a penny. But pass almost intercepted by Hart.
Akeem Hart can't believe that that's not going the other way. He played it perfectly.
Could we see more of that zone from Kevin Willard?
I think it's definitely in his back pocket to protect Julian Reese, but you worry about Illinois' 3-point shooting too, and their offensive rebounding.
Illinois 5 threes tonight on 17 attempts, but timeout here from the bench. But right now they're focused on the conference opener, and they got Epps trapped.
What a trap. Good timeout. That's Coleman Hawkins coming over. There's 7 on the shot clock. We got to go.
And right now it's Epps trying to get it inside. It's blocked. Martinez swatted it. Maryland looking to add to the 1-point lead. They led by 10 with 12:30 left in this game. But right now, neck and neck. Young on the drive. Through the contact, can't get it, but that's going to be goaltending.
And Martinez is hawking Terrence Shannon.
Shannon's got 17 points, even with a cut above his eye. Hawkins, a couple of crossovers, tries to penetrate, drops it off, reverse for Epps, no, but the putback, yes, and it's Terrence Shannon again.
Have got to block him out. He's flying in every time. Coleman Hawkins again creating late clock, but Terrence Shannon there to clean it up.
Shannon, not only does he have 19 points, he's got 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a block and a steal. Mid-range, Young in and out, offensive rebound, Reese, and he sticks it home.
A big-time play. The offensive glass, huge for both sides. Julian Reese, that's his 2nd basket of the night. None bigger than that one.
17,000 on their feet. Hawkins in the lane, got it to go.
That is so good by Coleman Hawkins. Seeing the trust that Brad Underwood is putting in his center to just make plays in pick and roll, make plays off the bounce. They're just giving him carte blanche to do whatever out there, and he's delivering.
He's played 38 minutes tonight. Hawkins tries to get the steal there, cannot, and it's an open Young, but he missed the 3. Illinois still has not led since 14-13, but they've got another opportunity here with less than a minute to play. Epps will take it, and the freshman misses. Shannon can't grab the rebound. Maryland's got it.
He got a good look. No one picked him up. He was wide open.
You look at the shot clock, 12-second difference.
I play it out. That's what Illinois is going to do. They have been pretty effective defensively. It's been tough at times for Maryland to score. I think you trust your defense if you're Illinois right here.
Right now, Maryland trying to expand on their 1-point advantage. Hart gets it into Young. Here we go. Young attacks on the baseline, cut off, back to Hart. Around the arc it goes. Young, 5 to shoot. He puts it up from deep. He got it! Jahmir Young with ice water in his veins. 2-possession game. Illinois has 1 timeout, but down 4. Hawkins, fade away. No! Reese with a rebound and a foul with 7.2 on the clock. Close to an 8-0 start. Pass up ahead. Shannon somehow